Okay, there's one story that when I saw this morning, it just sort of irked me a bit. But I don't know what your thoughts would be on this. The flag bearer Mahama is saying we will export nurses to reduce unemployment. And he says here, the story goes, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has proposed addressing unemployment among health workers, particularly nurses, by exporting some to other countries. Mahama suggests that deploying nurses abroad will be a more beneficial option than leaving them unemployed in Ghana. During his tour of the Savannah region, Mahama addressed student nurses, emphasizing the need for nurses to be gainfully employed after completing their education. To implement this strategy, he recommended the establishment of a unit at the Ministry of Employment dedicated to recruiting nurses, meeting the required standards for export. And I quote, "We want to increase the production of health workers and nurses, and we would employ them to work for us as many as we can, but at the same time, we will sign agreements with other countries where we can post our nurses to go and work on fixed contracts." So under the Ministry of Employment, we will have a unit that can recruit nurses and make sure that they are of the standard that can work in international hospitals. Sammens.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is a promise made on a campaign trail. President Mahama was touring the Savannah region, and he was addressing student nurses, and he's telling them that by all means, when they are done with their schooling under his tenure, even if you don't work in Ghana, they'll go to Abuja to go and work. I don't know what you make of this story.
Well, if my memory serves me correctly, this is not new.
It's not at all. We
It's
have the Caribbeans, a lot of our nurses going to the Caribbean.
No, I'm talking about the structured arrangement by the government to send nurses
Abroad.
outside.
Yes.
It's not new,
No,
right?
it's not.
I remember the other day we sent some nurses to one Caribbean country.
Bahamas.
Yeah.
I think there's a Bahamas
yeah,
arrangement,
yeah.
and
I
then
think
there's
Trinidad
a
and
Cuba
Tobago,
arrangement
yeah,
also
yeah.
that we have with them.
No, the Cubans
They come here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then even with the UK, you know, which is what the World Health Organization took out Ghana from. Remember that news came out about 2 years ago?
Yes.
That, Ghana
We've
was-
been on
yeah.
the red list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they call it red list. So, a lot of African countries are on the red list anyway, but they are also very smart. They will tell you that you're on the red list, which means that government to government, we can't transfer nurses, but they facilitate private agencies to come and collect the nurses and go. You know, and they lower the requirements so much that any nurse, properly so-called, that has at least 1 year nursing experience is qualified. Wow. Especially when you are from a Commonwealth country. You walk in today, next month you started work.
Wow.
That's what happens. And now they've added spousal visas to it.
Oh.
So once you get it, your spouse also gets the visa. What more can be more attractive than this?
Yeah.
Sammens, you know what you just done? You know what you've just done?
Tell me about it.
Friends of ours will start looking for nurses to marry.
No, people are doing it already.
Oh, really?
People are doing it already. I'm telling you. People are doing that already. People are doing it already. So, I don't, you see, I think that we have the capacity to train more nurses.
Yeah, we sure.
And it's not just nursing. We have the capacity to train more auto mechanics.
Yeah.
We have the capacity to train more welders.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about professional welders. And that is job creation.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just part of the solution. The solution is, it will have different, you know, angles to it.
Okay.
Shipping off some qualified nurses who maybe are not gainfully employed. But the trick here is that you must have been employed before you become an attractive candidate to
the
be
other
shipped.
market.
Yeah.
So we need to delve deeper into this whole policy of let them go out, let them go out. Now, who should train them for who should take?
Yeah.
And are they going to be trained at a cost, or are they going to pay for the training? How do we do that?
Yeah.
So I think, yes, and I'm sure all of them will talk about the nursing thing, because we are forcing the politicians to make health delivery a priority.
Yeah.
And nursing cannot be taken out of it.
Yeah.
But having said that, you know, the issue of exodus of nurses and doctors is nothing new in Ghana.
No.
It's not new in Ghana. There was a time in the late 70s, the early 80s, Kolebu suffered some catastrophe where all the heads of departments en masse moved to Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
You know that.
I remember that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, Tor also suffered a similar.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Tor.
Yes.
Also suffered a similar.
People went to Kuwait.
Yes.
People went to.
Yeah.
So, seeing that these things are inevitable, we should rather raise up the capacity of our training institutions. Okay, and we should give different pathways for people who are being trained, who will stay in Ghana. People who are being trained, who know that they won't stay in Ghana, so that you are now, you can't go to medical, well, now medical school is not free, but at our time medical school was free. People go to medical school 6, 7 years, and then by the 9th year, they've left Ghana, and they go and work elsewhere, and they are going to destinations where medical school training costs an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so who benefits? I think we should work the math properly and balance the equation. You know, because you can't keep training for free and then people departing, and you say that it's because the economy is bad. Yes, the economy is bad, but you're making it worse. You're making it worse because look, if we find ways of incentivizing those who stay. There are a lot more people who want to stay than we have. Because some people will stay for family reasons, some people will stay because they have other commitments. But at least it shouldn't be a disgrace to remain in Ghana and be a nurse.
And be a pauper.
That's the thing.
I've often proposed this idea that what about even when we look at our rural communities and people don't want to go there, right? Because it's challenging. How about running a system akin, not necessarily the same, but akin to what the UN does, where you choose to go to a more difficult space. There are perks that come with going.
But the UN has money.
Well,
but we don't have anything.
No, but
but
the point is that train the people in this area too as well.
Okay.
No, they started where the setting up of the most of these training schools in the various communities and so on. Yes,
but people. What I'm saying that people from the community should take advantage of it. But the thing is, I have nieces and cousins who, me personally, have taken them to nursing training, and then 2 years after, they send me message that they are in the UK.
They are in UK. They didn't even tell you they were
No. They say, brah, I'm in the UK.
Cool.
Then aren't you happy for
because they realize you're not happy.
Not that I'm not happy. I mean, I'll be asking you questions. You know, I have a niece who used to live with me, went through nursing school. She used to come here. She was on caravan 3 years ago as a nurse. Went to when she was going, I sat her down. I said, look, you are going to have to endure lonely moments. If you don't take care, you will cry. You weep you lock yourself and be weeping. And then when you weep small, then you look at yourself in the mirror. I told her, last year, she went through exactly the same thing. That's not to say that crying is bad. But I'm saying that it's not all everything rosy and I'm happy. There are times that you have to beg to even talk to a human being. I'm telling you.
It's true.
It can be so lonely that you have to beg to talk to a human being.
Can I talk to you for a minute?
Yes. So if you meet the person in the bus, no, baby, he's not even looking at you. So I'm just saying that there's psychological challenges, and a number of them, when they go and they settle, then they start preparing to come back. They start thinking, okay, now let me get a house. Because I mean, look, if you take 100 nurses in the UK, especially, about 80% of them have plans of coming back to Ghana.
So,
Yeah.
And that's just after how many years?
Well, eventually, when they think that they have a place of their own and they can, you know, because that's it. I mean, and I can say these things because my mother practiced nursing for almost 45 years. You know, in various countries. You know, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Saudi Arabia, in the UK, in different. You know, so we saw the times of the nursing people. You know, in different countries. And don't get me wrong, you are better off if you find a good job outside. No two ways about that. As a nurse, you are better off. So we cannot rid ourselves of all the nurses. All we can do is to train more and give them better opportunities. That's simple as that.
You know, on that note, I think Sammens always provide a historical, you know, perspective to all this, going back as far as the 70s, what happened in Kolebu and all that.
No, because I grew up in Kolebu.
No, Onupaneda.
It's a comfort. I get that.
You know, so, I mean, it's good. But see, where we live now, as a country, or where we are, what is happening to our cocoa? What is happening to gold?
State of the nation.
Yes. What's happened to, you know, all the minerals that we have? We need to be moving towards human resource development and exporting as much as we can.
But Larry, frankly, I get scared with the cocoa situation.
Yeah.
I get really scared with the cocoa situation. The cocoa situation should be taken away from politics.
Yeah.
It should be taken away from politics because it will murder us like nothing else. Where in Ghana today, the average cocoa farmer is 60 years and above. Which country can thrive on this kind of human resource base? The average cocoa farmer, properly so-called, is 60 years and above. You're not going to find a 20-year-old 22-year-old telling you that for me, I have chosen to be a cocoa farmer. It's not happening anymore. We should be scared. Otherwise, we should find alternatives.
That gives us 10, 15 years max with our farms. Really.
And you know, so then...
because by the time they're 80, nobody can farm cocoa anymore. So asking where's the new generation that's going into
not just that. They are selling off their cocoa lands.
To
in
Galamsey
the Galamsey areas because they get quick money to take care of themselves. And that's it. They're selling them off. Go to the eastern region. This palm oil belt is the only one that has been preserved for now. But the cocoa areas have really suffered.
Wow.
I've gone. Last month, I was there. A place that I had a cocoa farm there. And I had to abandon it because it wasn't too big. 2 acres at the time. This like 15 years or so ago. You know. And I had to abandon because it was costing me too much. It was like absentee farmer, everybody, and you end up paying all the workers for their family health. You know, you have to send money. Meanwhile, the cocoa,
you know,
so I called all of them one day and said, "Me, they are chemo." They say, "I'm pet me." So
you know,
that's how bad. Now I passed there and I noticed that they dug the whole place Galamsey. You know. So this cocoa thing we need to.
So you know, a lot of the nurses talk about the low salary.
Even
that they would have stayed here because the cold over there is massive. The taxes they pay, so they earn a lot. However, at the end of the day, they can't do anything. And like he said, most of them are only hoping to build some 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom here
and in come Ghana. Back quickly and
once they have, you know, their accommodation taken care of, they can come here and then you can pay them the peanuts that and.
We are done.
You know, my only challenge is a lot of them.
Boss, please talk.
A lot of them go. They don't get nursing jobs.
It's true.
I mean, they don't get a proper nursing jobs. at best,
even after
care
they've gone there
homes.
on the
I'm
nursing
telling
team.
you, man.
You do the care homes.
At best, you do care or geriatric nursing,
Yeah.
you know, in the old people's homes, you know, and then the real clinical nursing and theater nursing becomes the preserve of the indigens.
Okay.
you
Even
know,
I think
for
the
pace.
medicine is also like that, because I had
Larry, unfortunately, we've run out of time.
we are supposed to do so now.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
soda.
Yeah.
We have to do soda. We have to do
We
soda.
have to do so now.
So what are we going to say? What are we going to talk about? Soda?
Oh,
I
for
asked
me,
you.
yeah, for me, I wanted to talk about the communication team
Oh, okay.
of
For the SONA,
of the government.
What's wrong with the
they
communication?
don't have. Fatih is now minister. Fatih is now minister.
No, but
of
Fatih
Information.
has always been there,
deputizing information.
deputizing.
But she's strong.
Oh, I mean, how strong has that office been? For me, I think that Kojo was removed because, I mean, the information system had collapsed.
Oh, how so?
Oh, I mean, Kojo of all people wouldn't have gone to what you call it?
Works and
Works
housing.
and housing.
Really?
Kojo is an information person.
Hey.
Kojo is an information person. You had
So
Kojo there.
he should be there. Then when people say something, then he will
Then
go
you go
and
again.
do the rebuttal.
Oh,
And the
I
other
see.
people are chopping at the other side.
So where he's going to throw.
No, but brick and mortar there, he can't go hungry, my brother. Kojo, I salute you.
But you know,
Information, anybody.
decorated messenger.
So we have blessed Fatih with the information.
Yes. Over
Yes,
their channel.
because Fatih is meek and mild.
Okay. So there you have Eugene.
Do it quickly.
Yeah, you have Eugene leading the presidency.
Ouch.
Information. It's not being. I think he's now consumed with.
Why do we have so many information channels?
I don't know. Yet the information is not, trickling down. Okay, so aside that, then you have Richard Ahyangba at the party
For the
level.
party, yeah.
What's come out of that? Very often he's run into, some conflict with, for nothing. At the end of the day, you don't get what is being communicated. Then you have, which other one? Okay, we've spoken about the Ministry of Information. So one minister at the top and 3 or 4 deputies, special assistants, down there. At the presidency, I mean, the last time we checked the report to Parliament of presidential staffers, how many deputies did we have for? Plenty. And in between that, then there's also another committee that had been created. Then I think Oboshisai is somewhere there. Elizabeth Ohene is in the corner somewhere, and so many other people. The Sunday group.
They go to church?
No, no, they meet on Sunday to shape the next agenda for the week.
Oh,
I didn't know about
where?
Oh, I think they were meeting at the Ministry of Information.
Oh, I see.
Obviously, Herald.
Yes, fellow.
No, I say he's a proper newsman.
Unfortunately, Herald is never invited to those meetings. Yes, and I get shocked. Sammens don't say anything. It's okay. Let's carry on.
Let me say a big
Herald
thank
of
you.
all papers.
I want to say a big thank you to Samuel Tabensa, who is the host of Footprints on Citi TV, and Larry Alans, who is the editor for the Herald newspaper. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me this morning.
Thank you.